Today we're talking about I see claims. Did you ever see that movie, The Sixth Sense? And the little kid says, I see dead people. Well, that's what we're talking about today, is seeing claims coming and then trying to avoid them. So construction is a litigious business, right? And all the time when you talk to people, they say, God, I saw the signs before. I shouldn't have done this. I got myself into this or whatever. But anyway, so that's called seeing 20/20 in hindsight, right? Everyone has it. Anyway, there's a lot of things you can see today that you can look back on a year from now and see, man, there was a dispute right there. Things like poor contract documents. This is a common problem. The documents aren't finished, and as much as, I'll be throwing engineers or architects under the bus, this is an owner deal a lot of times too. A lot of times the engineers and architects, they're trying to do a good job, but at the end of the day, they're not given enough time to do a complete job, and out on the street the documents go. But anyway, that is certainly an indicator of claims to come. Number 2 on my list for that article is asshole management. If you're out there in the field and the superintendent isn't acknowledging simple and fair changes and the project manager is beating on you, it's not going to get any better. Because the lawyers, if you never dealt with a lawyer, you should know that they're usually not very friendly people. They go by the contract and that's about it. And let's be honest, contract's not in your favor. The old project manager transfer. What happened to Joey, the project manager? Yeah, he just got moved off the job. You're going to deal with me now. My name's Billy. And I wasn't here for all these changes you're talking about. And because of that, let's just try to get through them. And how's 50 cents on the dollar sound? Because otherwise, I don't think I can get you anymore. The project manager transfer, lethal. The old short on project funds, that's always an indicator of a claim to come where I would really love to pay you. We just don't have any money in the budget. If you hear during the pre-bid that there's no money in the budget, be advised there's no money in the budget. So if you have a change, it may be right. Doesn't mean you're going to get paid without spending thousands of dollars on lawyers. I love this one too. Hey, yeah, great. Track those costs and we'll take a look at them later. We'll get them submitted up to the owner. If you ever hear that, just turn around, walk somewhere else. That often is another good indicator of 50 cents on the dollar or less coming. If the general contractor you're working for or the owner says that, it probably means that I'm really not going to try very hard to get that money, but if you submit it to me, I probably have a contractual obligation to pass it on. But you as the contractor, don't be holding your breath and be aware. You might have a claim coming. Poor contract administration is one that I've often run into also. If the person you're working for doesn't know how to process RFIs in a timely manner or doesn't know how to cut a change order in a timely manner and doesn't have your cash flow in his or her interest, that may be a problem. Lastly on this list that we put out was a stubborn engineer. If you don't know what hubris is, look it up in the dictionary. It's cost money to a lot of owners. It's taken lives over the Hudson River. Hubris is a trait that is not good for anyone. It's basically just overconfidence in certain things and not wanting to look back and reflect upon one's work. It's a great word unless you're the victim of it, but a lot of engineers, and for that matter, owners or contractors, have this trait. And if you have a stubborn engineer on the job who's not willing to acknowledge his or her mistakes and give you what's fair and equitable, a stubborn engineer who acts as both judge and jury and claim situations is often not going to give you the award on a claim that you put forward. So a stubborn engineer usually is going to hit your wallet. My story was a little bit self-serving, I guess. It doesn't read very well as far as talking about myself. I'm not very good about that, so I'm going to skip that part and maintain some humility there instead of talking about the compliment I received. But the bonus tip on the article I thought was really a good one in that, you know what the best way to save money on a job is? Don't spend it. If you don't spend the money, you're not out the money. So my bonus tip was, if you're in a situation and it's getting nasty, consider walking off the job. Your contract probably says you can't do it, but talk to your attorney about what happens if I do walk off the job. I'll tell you one thing that happens if you walk off the job. You don't spend any money. Maybe they chase you for the next year, 2 or 3, and maybe they do get some money out of you eventually. But at the end of the day, walking off the job means they have to chase you, and that means you're not going to spend money immediately that you're going to get at best 50 cents on the dollar for. That's it for today. Hey guys, gals, work safe.